Okay, we're starting this new job. We got this granite shower that we're going to be taking out and doing all new tile work. We're doing a complete remodel in this bathroom, but what sparked this remodel was the shower, which is solid granite slab. This is 3/4 inch solid pieces of granite, and it's a real nice custom job, but they were having some issues with their shower. There was some leaking that was going on. We think that the issue is somewhere in this curb, but you can see what's happened here is the granite has separated, it's popped out, and it's got some cracks going on right here. I mean, this thing has just been pretty hammered. Here's some grout that just came out, or epoxy. I think that's epoxy that they used to try to seal this. But subfloor damage, water was leaking out here, so we're going to do what we can to find out where the leak is. Inside here, you can see on the shower pan, they cut the granite into little 6-inch squares, but it's just, man, it got hammered. I don't know what it is, but all of the grout has come out. We got staining all along the bottom here. You can see that yellow stain. Some efflorescence, and there's some mildew and mold going on. So we're going to tear this whole thing out so that we can get down to the base layer and see what caused this failure here. And when we go back in, we're going in with new large format 12 by 48 tiles, and this is going to be a beautiful bathroom, but I'm really interested to see what failed. Okay, so we got the glass door off, and we started prying up this last track on the bottom, and it actually lifted the top of the curb all the way up. And what you can see here is whoever installed this granite actually siliconed it right to the hot mop, which is a no-no. You're supposed to float over this with a mortar bed so that it has something to bond to. Tar isn't a suitable substrate for any tile or stone. So you can see it didn't bond. They used silicone, just big gobs of silicone on there. Look at that. So this whole curb should have been floated like I showed in my videos. Then it would have been a strong substrate, but you can see, ooh, look at that. What is that? Yeah, something. Probably smells real nice too. So I think we're starting to figure out what happened here is they glued with silicone these pieces of granite right to a hot mop. So look at that. That just comes right off. They stuck it right to dimensional lumber, which these are just 2x4s, and so lumber, what happens with moisture, not even water, but just humidity in the air, it expands and contracts. So as this gets more humid, especially in a shower, it would expand and then it would contract. That's what caused everything to come loose and fail. But you can see over here we got some dry rot in here, and that's where the water was coming through. It was just running down here, running under the granite down onto the curb right here, and then the water was getting down below. So I imagine as we start to take this apart, we're going to see more of this stuff going on. All right, that's good, Ron. Okay. Johnny, come give me a hand here. Should be a stud right here. Ronnie, come on in here. I really want to see what's behind. I want to see what was causing all of this staining here. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's the hot mop. See? That hot mop, this asphalt again, this all should have been floated. So this staining was caused from the asphalt and a hot mop coming through the granite. So any granite installers out there, don't ever just put your granite right over the hot mop, or else that staining is going to happen. So this shower was doomed to fail from the start, and unfortunately there's tile contractors and natural stone contractors out there that just don't know what they're doing, and homeowners rely on them as professionals to make the right choices, and oftentimes they don't. So this is the result. All right. Come on, Richard. Let me down. That real quick. And like we suspected, look at all the dry rot here. This is literally just coming out here. That wood is just soft, water damage, fungus damage. Look at that. It's actually wet inside there, and look how soft that is. Just rotting out. So here's our mortar bed they put on here. They used thin set mortar, and then they used granite tiles on top of that. But you can see it wasn't draining very well. We have a lot of water in the mortar bed. So they might not have had good weep protection down at the drain. We'll check that out too. We're going to investigate that. But this is the guts of the tile. Here's our waterproofing layer, our hot mop that wraps up the wall. So just wanted to show you guys that. Okay, so one thing I want to point out is they didn't put any kind of weep protection in the drain here. You can see there's no gravel, there's no weep protection, so this mud is just packed up. Those weep holes are clogged. That's why this is wet, is because there's supposed to be weep holes in here. You put gravel to protect them, so the water that gets down here, they did a good job on the pre-slope, but that water had nowhere to go. It needs to be able to travel to the drain in that direction. But if the mud is packed all the way against the weep holes, there's nowhere for it to go. That's why this mortar bed is all saturated. This is a step that a lot of guys miss. They see a hot mop or a pan liner, or they'll intentionally clog these weep holes with silicone or something, thinking that, you know, they don't want any water coming in here. But the way this is designed is for water to come in and travel and go down the weep holes. So yeah, I just want to show that there's no weep holes apparent. I mean, the hot mopper usually leaves nails where the weep holes are, and then the installer pulls them out. That may be one right there, but whatever weep mechanism there is, it's definitely not working. It's clogged. You can't see weep holes. There was no gravel around to protect those.
We did this 20 years ago, and you expect it to be done right, and knowing now that it was built to fail the day I moved in. It's, you know, you spent a lot of money building a home. You expect it to be done right. never expected to have to do this, but it was going to have to do this now, knowing how it was built.
We see this a
You know,
lot.
I did my research when I got my general, and he had done a bunch of custom homes, and I went and looked at his work and his history, and so I thought he was employing people that were reputable as well. I depended on him to do that, so whatever. I mean, what do I know?
Yeah, so here we are. So, all right, thanks, Mike. Hey, we're going to get this taken care of. It's going to be beautiful by the end of it. I can promise you that. And you can check my references, too.
Yeah, I've seen your work.
All right, cool. All right.